Hey peeps, DJMK here, and welcome to another episode of Airis, a new visual novel that I've recently started. I'm only on episode 3, but I'm excited to share more of this game with you. So, in this episode, we are going to cover a continuation of Alia's story. So, to sum up the last 2 episodes, Alia is a vassal for the country Airis, and so she has been very much devoted to her duties. The problem is, however, that she has a condition where she suddenly blacks out for no obvious reason, and then wakes up into some other spots. So she first asks her friend Lyle, a paladin who also happens to go under a similar condition as she does. However, they're not exactly open to Alia asking the whole guild. So, the first decision that we had was we decided to limit it to the last few, to at least a few of trusted members of her guild. So Alia tries asking Everea, another fellow vassal in her guild, but even she is not sure what she's talking about. However, we may have come across one person who may know what's going on, which is Colin, who is a researcher and inventor who has recently moved to Airis. However, considering this is Airis and you never know about people, we're kind of unsure as to how to take the next move. So today we are about to do that. So I've set out a straw poll for today's episode, and I'm going to check it out now. Let's see. And we got 1 vote, so let me just get to the game and then we will get started. But, oh yeah, also before I formally begin the episode, a small shout out to Cakerins, who is a fellow Delawarean I actually met on Gamer Zach's channel. He is a bit further south from me, but it's pretty cool that we actually have 2 Delawareans on the same Malaysian YouTuber streams. That's pretty cool. So thanks, Cakerins, for having a little bit of a conversation. I've subscribed to your channel, so as soon as we get a bit more acquainted, I definitely want to do a collab or something at some point, because your stuff looks pretty cool. So, right now I'm simulcasting on both my YouTube channel, DJMK Off the Air, and my Twitch channel, Tandracia, so please don't hesitate to follow either one of those channels. And so, without further ado, let's continue on with the journey. So, like I said earlier, Colin, do I find out what he has to say, or do I run before the situation escalates further? So, 1 vote says hear him out, and that's personally what I would have decided, so that actually works out at my favor. Honestly, Alia needs to take a chill pill sometimes and just try something new. Just saying. But yeah, let's hear him out. Crossing my arms in front of my chest, I slid at him a suspicious look out of the corner of my eyes. I'm listening. Kyla adjusts his glasses, a smile tucking at the corner of his lips. I love the music in this game, I will say that. Brilliant Games knows how to pick music really well. Thank you for not running. Well, after I retired from being a vassal, I began to spend all my days researching magical cures, potions and the like. To heal my shoulder, you see. Oh yeah, he got injured and that's why he's no longer a vassal. Forgot to mention that. He's an ex-vassal turned researcher. I think I might have something that can ease symptoms of your affliction. My heart begins to pound in hope, and I turn to face Kylan fully. What about a cure? Do you know what kind of illness this is? I'm afraid not. I apologize. I exhale loudly, closing my eyes from the bitter disappointment. course. I should have known. However, if you agree to aid me in my research, I can work on finding a cure to your problem. At the eager tone of his voice and curious glint in his eyes, my guard rises again. Research? No, this is too risky. I know nothing about this guy, and for all I know, he's planning to conduct strange experiments on me for sadistic pleasure. Thank you for your kind offer, but I believe I'll pass. Look, I promise that this will be completely harmless. It's just, I'm afraid it's still a no. I must leave now. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye. Wait! Shrugging off his hand on my arm, I make a beeline for the exit. Thankfully, when I turn my head back to peek over my shoulder, I see that Skyland has decided not to give chase, merely staring after me with a confused frown.
Honestly, you just to make me come along with a sort of simple quest. You're just delivering some packages from one end of the town to the other. You don't need me here.
Pausing to catch my breath, I plop down to the ground and begin to fan myself. Next to me, Teddy raises up to 2 legs and pokes me with one paw.
Hey, don't ignore me.
I reach out to give her a gentle pat on the head, smiling at the pout on her face. I just want to spend some time with you. You don't mind keeping me company, do you? I love doing Teddy's voice. She's way too funny. I hide a grin when she drops back down to all fours, her nose in the air. She's so prickly. It's so funny.
Stop wasting time then. Let's go.
Mother of souls, Teddy. It's boiling hot today. Let me take a break. I'm about to die from heat exhaustion.
Your fault for taking this kind of quest. You're on a novice vassal. There are better quests more worthy of your time.
I bite my lip, staying silent as I continue to fan myself. I can't exactly tell Teddy that I need all the quests I can to keep my mind off things. Immediately, the blackouts in Kylan's offer pop into my head, and I try to push the thoughts away. The shopkeeper offered decent rewards. I could use the gold.
Don't you already have...
Teddy doesn't get a chance to finish her sentence because a familiar voice rings out above us, making us lift our heads. Alia! Hey, what are you doing? Oh, hey, Airis, what are you doing here? Aren't you doing physical training with Lyle today? Lyle seemed distracted and out of sorts today, so we called it quits early. You wouldn't happen to know what's bothering them, would you? I can make a wild guess, but I doubt Lyle would be happy with me telling Airis the truth. Sensing my hesitation, Airis shrugs with a grin. You don't have to tell me. Anyways, what's with the gigantic cart? Did you go on a shopping spree again? I did not. It's for a quest. I'm delivering goods for a shopkeeper. Airis raises an eyebrow, glancing at the cart again. Since when do you accept quests other than the ones that require to swing your sword at things?
That's what I said as well.
See? Even Teddy agrees with me. Seeing the two of them playful glare, I duck my head, hating that I have to lie to them. I just need the gold. Well, shucks, Airis. If you need the gold, you could just go on another run into the dungeon with me. We had a pretty good loot yesterday, didn't we? Yesterday? Did you forget already? We cleared the Captain of Deception yesterday together, along with Reidri and Darren. The alarm bells in my head slowly begin to go off, and my breathing hitches when I realize I have absolutely no memory of the dungeon run at all. In fact, until Airis pointed it out, I didn't even realize that my entire afternoon from yesterday is a complete blank in my mind. Are you alright, Airis? You just suddenly went pale. Well, even paler than normal. I'm fine. Sorry, I'll have to stay and talk, but I need to hurry and finish this quest. I'll see you around, Airis. Alright. See you. Flashing her an apologetic glance, I grab the handles of the cart and begin to push it down the road, slowly increasing my pace until I'm almost running. Teddy scampers after me, shouting at me to wait up.
Airis, you idiot! This is the wrong way! You took the wrong turn!
Panting, I can really force the words in my mouth in between my gasps for air.
No, need to find someone first.
Hell! Seeing the Guildhall building come into view, I skid to a halt, causing Teddy to stumble over her feet. Wait here. Watch the cart. Ignoring Teddy's baffled cries, I dart into the Guildhall. As expected, at this time of the day, the Guildhall is packed with people, mostly vassals taking a lunch break from their various quests and practice sessions. Anxiously, I sweep my gaze across the room, looking for a glimpse of Colin's strange clothing. It's a long shot, but the only time I met him here was here 2 days ago, so I don't know where else I could go to find him. Fancy seeing you again. I whip around at the sound of his voice, coming face to face with Colin, leaning against the wall with a small smile. There you are. Looking for me? Now that I'm actually talking to him, I can't shake the growing feeling of regret. I had no reason to trust him last time I turned out his offer, and I still don't. Maybe I should have thought about this more before taking off to find him. Well... yes? I bite my lip hard enough that I could taste the salty tang of blood. Gosh, you really have nerves, don't you, Alia? I don't really have a choice, do I? I have to take this leap of faith. You know why I'm here. I expected Colin to play dumb and make things difficult for me, but instead a charming smile spreads up across his face. He straightens to his full height, taking a step closer. You need my help? Yes. If you could sense the reluctance in my voice, he didn't point it out. What changed your mind? Are you not concerned that I'd trick you into drinking a poisonous potion, or perhaps conduct painful experiments on you to discover the source of your illness? Dude, not helping! So at the fact that Colin practically just vocalized my internal fears, I shoot him a glance, uncertain whether he's joking or not. The slightly sardonic smile on his face irritates me for some reason, and I have to force myself to sound casual and concerned when I reply. Aha, okay. I mean... this is like one of those super minor decisions because we're gonna give in to him no matter what. So it's just really how we want to brush this off. Do we just go like, hey, I don't really care, or I don't mind trying new stuff, or at this point I have nothing to lose. I gotta protect my country, you know. But you know, let's make this a bit more interesting. Let's go on the Airis website, and then we will make this a bit more fun. So, give me 1 second. Gotta transition back to the title for a little bit, and then I'm going to boop-a-doop. And little surprise, surprise, you're gonna see my beautiful face again. Alright, yellow. So, gotta check this out. So here's the Airis website. So let's see. So here's the summary. Ever since Illya joined Airis' vassals as a warrior, she's been devoted to her cause of protecting her country from the creatures that, having lost their senses due to a strange plague, started attacking the cities years ago. Constantly training in the dungeons and working to improve herself, she believes she can become one of the best warriors in the kingdom. Unfortunately, there's one little problem. Lately, Illya has been suffering from blackouts, waking up in different locations with no memory of what happened. Fearful of what this means and what may be happening to her, Alia is determined to get to the bottom of her strange condition. During her search for a cure for her affliction, she would discover more than she expected about her friends, her beloved country, and the plague that threw the country into chaos in the first place. So, this is a true otome game, but the fact that there's 3 love interests, which is pretty obvious who they are. It's Everea, Lyle, and Colin, respectively, because it's male, one non-binary, one female. Each a completely different route. There's 9 endings, 3 hidden endings, and over 70 meaningful choices that change the story and determine your ending. So it's kind of in the this one's kind of in the minor end, but I still want to make it fun. Approximately 140,000 words. Unique sprites for 6 important characters, 6 CGs, 6 character graphics, 3 chibi character graphics, 5 custom backgrounds, and an original soundtrack, which is why this thing's so awesome. Alright. So here we are. So here is Ilya's bio. Possessing a strong sense of justice and desire to protect the weak, Ilya is a devoted warrior, hardworking and impulsive. Is determined. Due to her impulsive nature, she often jumps headfirst into battle without considering the consequences. So it isn't unusual to see her sporting wounds all over and having to repair her armor yet again. Despite her bubbly and cheerful personality, Ilya has many anxiety issues and negative feelings that she has yet to deal with, and just suppresses and covers them up with a smile. And then Colin, who we just met, claiming to be a retired vassal, Colin is a mysterious person who likes to poke his nose in other people's business. Now I can kind of see where this comes from. With the brilliant, inquisitive mind and a thirst for knowledge that's never satisfied, Colin spends his days researching into magic, science, and the like. Perhaps partially due to his terrifying intellect, which gives him the ability to analyze people to a great degree of accuracy, Colin can be very charismatic and manipulative when he wants to be. Despite his charm, Alia can't quite shake off the feeling that he isn't what he appears to be. What could this eccentric behavior be hiding? And then Lyle, one of Ilya's guildmates. A fellow vassal and guildmate, Lyle has been Ilya's best friend for years. They're gentle and kind, even passive. They'd much rather yield and agree with others than spend any longer than a few seconds defending their position. Even so, they show an unparalleled sense of devotion and determination regarding Airis and her people. Lately, however, Lyle has been acting somewhat skittish and worried, although they try in vain to act otherwise, and their eyes sometimes fill with a sense of knowing acquiescence that they refuse to explain. Because they know something more than most about the plague or the blackouts, but how? And so, what happened they told Ilya? That's what I'm wondering, because I'm feeling Lyle's been hiding something this entire time. That's just me. And also, the reason why I've been kind of turning a little more this way is because my microphone's on this end. That's why the metal. So, yeah, that's why I look a little weird. So, and the final one is Everea. Fellow vassal, the sassy Everea has been close friends with Ilya for several years. As she goes through brief, simultaneous periods of airheadedness, she's generally a determined, intelligent girl who loves nothing more than a good fight, both physical and verbal. Those who haven't known her tend to even think her cold as a result of her penchant for sarcasm, and the way she seems to have little sympathy towards the injured and the dead, whether it be a fellow warrior or a especially cute monster. Perhaps it's a result of something in her past, which she refuses to say a word about. Which is kind of funny, considering that she doesn't really seem like a dark character that much. Teddy is Ilya's animal companion, who sometimes accompanies her on escort quests or in battles. Rescued by Alia a year ago after her mother was killed by the creatures when she was still a bear cub, Teddy is unwaveringly loyal to Ilya, though she never admitted it. Thanks to Lyle's magic, Teddy's words can be understood by both Ilya and Lyle, and Teddy never fails to use his power to tell Ilya off for being overly touchy and reckless. Despite her grumpiness and prickly nature, Teddy shares a close bond with Ilya and would go to great lengths to protect her. So yeah, this is a submission from Ebullience Games, and they also did this game as part of NaNoWriMo, which is like the NaNoWriMo equivalent of visual novels. And as I mentioned earlier, Ebullience Games is a Singaporean visual novel company, so they have some pretty cool stuff. I also have Red String of Fate, which I'll play later on, and then they are right now creating a game called The Masquerade Killer, which has been kickstarted on Kickstarter. which I think it's made up its goal, and right now they're putting all the bonuses and the bells and whistles on top of it before the full game is available. But they do have a demo online in case you're curious about it. So let's continue with a little bit more of Airis, now that we have a bit more character background. And also, I think I'm going to put 2 polls this time. One for whether or not you want me to continue with the face cam, and also whatchamacallit, whether to continue the face cam and the next big decision in this game. So, alright. So let's do this. So, since she's so anxious, I think even the... I mean, I think she tries to brush it off, so I would kind of, well, at least the way I come up with Alia, I mean, personally, I would be more like, I had nothing to lose, but I think she'd be more like brushing it off. It's like, nonsense, I like trying new things, I'm not that nervous, what are you talking about? Contrary to my expectations, Colin breaks out into an easy grin and nods. I respect those with an open mind. Very well then, I'll do my best to help. But first you have to tell me everything you can about your problem. Your symptoms, when it began, what you think triggered it, everything you can think of. Remembering Lyle's warning, I can't help but hesitate. As though sensing my train of thoughts, Colin clucks his tongue. If you want me to help, you have to trust me. Trust him? Easier said than done. Can't you just give me your potion? You said you have one that might work, right? I don't have it anymore. Before you slap me for deceiving you and run off in anger, I should mention that I have written down how to make the potion, so I can recreate it, as long as I have the ingredients, which I don't. So I need to go into the Mines of Mischief to grab the ingredients I need for the mixture. I can do that. What do you need? No, I need to go in person with you. I have specific methods of extracting the ingredients I need. Narrowing my eyes at him, I give in with a sigh. Fine. I'll see if my friends can come along. Perhaps my animal companion as well. We could use the extra firepower. Colin looks like he wants to argue, but I continue cheerfully, ignoring the way Colin's lips have thinned in disapproval. If you want me to trust you, you'll have to trust me on this. Do we have a deal? Colin's expression doesn't change as he thinks of my offer, but eventually he breaks out into an easy grin, so genuine that one would find it hard to believe he was against the idea of forming a party just a few seconds ago. Deal. Now tell me everything you know. For the first time in days, I felt faint stirrings of hope deep inside. Despite my distrust towards Colin still, I found myself sincerely thanking him. I can only hope everything turns out well, and I didn't make the wrong choice to trust him. Are you certain about this, Airis? Can we trust that stranger? Avoiding Lyle's eyes and focusing on polishing the sword in my hand, I can only manage a shrug. We don't have a choice. Yes, we do. It's not necessary to... I'm not going to just sit here and wait for whatever this is to pass, Lyle. I'm not going to spend more sleepless nights worrying about waking up somewhere I don't remember going, or being unable to recall the events of the previous day. And you're sure the suspicious person can give us a cure? I'm not, but at least we're doing something. I exhale loudly, turning away from Lyle. You don't have to come along with me, you know. I know you disagree with my choice. Silence drags on as I switch to stroking Teddy's head, who has dozed off with her head on my lap. Finally, Lyle speaks with a long sigh. You're right. I don't agree with your decision. I'm not going to let you into that dungeon alone with them. I don't trust him. Rolling my eyes at their overprotectiveness, I flush Lyle with a small smile. I'd be fine. I have Teddy with me. But still, I'm glad you're coming. Lyle doesn't respond, just giving a non-committal hum. Hey! Sorry I'm late, aren't I? I'm late, aren't I? Had to go pick up my repaired armor from the blacksmith. Both of our heads up in unison to see Airis sliding into a seat at our table, casually swiping Lyle's drink and taking a sip. Airis! Thanks for coming. Nah, thanks for inviting me along. Two of you could probably handle this quest easily, so it's kind of you to let me tag along and split the reward. It's gonna be so much fun! Airis beams in excitement, but I lift my hand to stop her from continuing to speak. Wait, Airis, didn't I tell you that it's not really a quest, so there's no money reward involved? I could have sworn I did. We're just helping a friend of mine get the materials he needs for the Mines of Mischief for a potion he's working on. Airis' smile freezes for a brief moment, but then she chuckles with a wink. No, you're right. My mistake. I mixed us up with another invitation for another friend next week. Of course I'm down for this even without a reward. It'd be awesome to have an opportunity to compete with you again. Just so you know, Ilya, I'm gonna kill the most creatures again this time, so you can stop hoping you'll win for once. Shaking my head with a low laugh at Airis' occasional forgetfulness and spirited nature, I stick my tongue out of her. I don't remember agreeing to a competition, but we'll see. Ready to go? At the familiar interrupting voice, we all look up to see Colin approaching us with long, eager strides. He has a strange bag hanging over his shoulder and a pouch hanging from his belt, half hidden by his coat. Yes. Colin, these are my friends. On the left is Lyle. They're an experienced mage who will double as our healer. To the right is Airis. She's the best warrior in the guild. Lyle? Airis? This is Colin, the one I told you about. Ah, so these are the infamous Lyle and Airis. I've heard many things about you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Colin reaches out to shake Airis' hand, and then Lyle. The moment of awkward hesitation before Lyle takes Colin's hand with reluctance doesn't escape Airis' noticed, but I pretend not to see her questioning look. I don't know what it is about my mouth today. I'm gonna grab some tea. Like Zach and his coffee, it's me and green tea. I never done the last bit, darn it. I need to get more after the stream's done. It is a good party. I'll try my best not to slow down the three of you with my rusty skills. Oh yeah, I have some water too, actually. So I bring more than one cup. Much better. There we go. Lyle makes a small sound of displeasure in the back of their throat, and I nudge them in the side as a warning before turning back to Colin. It's fine. The Mines of Mischief isn't difficult to clear anyway. Perfect. Are you ready to get going? Always am. Aside Lyle a questioning look, who scowls but gives a small jerk of their head that I take as agreement. Yes, lead the way. Our footsteps slow to a halt in front of the entrance to the dungeon, and Colin steps forward, throwing his arms up in the air. This is it! We're here! I haven't been here in so long that nothing has changed. Colin continues to look around, an almost childlike expression of excitement written over his face. Some of my anxiety fades away at his obvious eagerness, and my sympathy comes from earlier when I first heard about his injury comes rushing back. Whoever this person is, however strange he may seem, it's clear he used to be a vassal like us, and he shares the same love for adventuring and dungeon raiding that we do.
Great! So this is a glorified escort mission. How long has this guy been retired again? Teddy! Just speaking the truth. We're all thinking it anyway.
Next to me, Lyle hides a smirk at Teddy's blunt remarks, and I'm grateful that only Lyle, Airis, and I share the magic link to Teddy and are able to understand her words. Teddy? Be nice. To be fair, Teddy isn't wrong. Colin cocks his head in our exchange, his gaze flickering between Teddy and me with a curious, almost hungry glint in his eyes. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Unnerved by his intense stare, I gesture towards the open gate, clearing my throat. Shall we? Right. Yes, of course. I'll go first. The four of you, stay behind me.
Psst! Like I need you protecting? This kind of dungeon is a piece of cake for me.
Before I can react, Teddy has darted forward and into the dungeon. I can only let out an exasperated chuckle before running in after her. Following the sound of Teddy's growls, we soon come to a relatively clear area, where a few abandoned minecarts still remain. Where did that bear go? I swear, Alia, if you change your mind and want to sell her to a circus, I can help you.
Incoming!
My gaze flies to the opening of the tunnel just in time to see Teddy bounding towards us on all fours, leading what appears to be a pack of corrupted boars. Mother of souls! Seriously, Teddy? I could really hear Teddy's mischievous laughter among the thundering of the boars as they approach. Airis and I shift into battle stance, lifting our weapons to prepare for combat. Next to me, Colin slides his dagger out of its hiding place, while Lyle mumbles quietly as they cast protective enchantments on us. Lyle, get ready! On it! A second later, the first half of the pack of boars erupts into flames, while fire continues to rain from the ceiling. Confused and enraged by the attack, they begin to lose formation, staggering and bumping into each other. Using the opening that Lyle's spell has given us, we charge toward the boars, slashing and deflecting blows with our swords. Teddy goes... That face! Sorry. Okay. Teddy also joins the fight, swiping left and right with her paws, occasionally letting out growls of satisfaction when she manages to take down an enemy. With adrenaline pumping through my veins and my deafening heartbeat pounding in my ear, I throw myself deeper into battle, barely feeling the pain when the boar manages to draw blood with his tusks. With Lyle, Airis, and I chaining combination skills one after another, the enemies fall one by one, disappearing into a puff of smoke, until there are only a handful of the toughest ones left. I'm so focused on the creature in front of me that I almost didn't notice a stray boar creeping up on Colin, who stumbled over on the back trying to catch his breath. Colin! Look out! I try to disentangle from my battle, but the boar refuses to give up, rewarding with my distraction with a long, angry scratch down my leg. I stumble back in pain and quick glance around confirms that everyone else is also locked in battle, unable to go for Colin's rescue. Colin! Finally hearing my warning shout, he lifts his head and turns around, just in time to see the boar about to launch an attack at him. I can only watch in horror as the boar begins to charge. And Colin rolls nimbly to the side. Half-heartedly deflecting and avoiding the attacks of the boar in front of me, I continue to watch with growing surprise and respect as Colin almost casually sidesteps the boar's attacks, one by one. In a swift movement, Colin suddenly darts behind the boar, and with one stab, the creature returns to a puff of smoke, waiting to revive in the few hours when it gathers enough essence again. The boar had been fighting collapsed to the ground with a squeal, and I looked to the side to see Lyle casting a fireball in my direction, having finished taking care of the rest of the creatures in the room. Thanks, Lyle. Not like you to get distracted in battle. Brushing off dirt in my armor, I gratefully hold out my leg as Lyle casts healing spells over my wounds. I thought Kylie was in trouble. I wanted to go to him to help. I'm fine. I might be retired, but I still remember a few things. I turned to look at Colin, who looked slightly ruffled, but none the worse for wear. That was pretty impressive. Very clean fight. Colin smiles, turning his dagger into its hiding place. I got lucky. The attack patterns of these boars are still the same. If they had changed, I wouldn't have been able to protect the moves, and I'd definitely be in trouble. Attack patterns? Colin shrugs, a small smile still lingering on his lips. Everyone has an attack pattern, including the corrupted creatures. You just have to analyze it to know how to use it against them. Huh. Is that so? Despite not fully believing his words, since I don't think I've ever developed a pattern to my attacking moves, I can't help but nod in newfound respect for him. Colin must have been a good vassal. Pity he got injured and had to retire early. Airis could have used a strong soldier like him. Did you get the ingredient you needed from the boar? Yes, just need a sample from the wolves next. He plucks out a particularly shaped glass bottle and swirls wet liquid around it. I make a face at the blood, and Colin laughs for pocketing the bottle again. You're a warrior, yet you have that reaction to a bit of blood in a bottle? It's blood in a bottle. That's very different. Don't listen to her. She's squeamish. You see the way she squeezes her eyes shut and turns the other way whenever Lyle's tending to my wounds. That's not true. Oh yeah, so tilting your body as far away from Kylan right now has absolutely nothing to do with the bottle of blood in his hands? Yes, definitely. Airis rolls her eyes with a giggle. Even Kylan chortles to himself, much to my embarrassment. You're fooling no one, Alia. The sound of someone clearing their throat interrupts us, and we can see Lyle tipping their head towards a different tunnel, having just finished healing Teddy's wounds. We should probably move on if we want to clear this dungeon before they revive. I don't want to deal with these again on the way out. Grinning in excitement, Airis can only keep herself from bouncing on the balls of her feet, stroking her beloved weapon. I wouldn't mind. Lyle doesn't even bother to reply, shaking their head with a laugh and heading for the next tunnel. We continue going deeper and deeper into the mines, almost getting lost a couple of times thanks to the almost identical tunnel-muzzling rooms. Eventually, we decided to take a small break to replenish our energy and for Lyle to perform more healing spells on us because... Gosh, Alia, you got seriously hurt earlier! And we settled into a small corner of the room, nibbling at our bread. Surprisingly, instead of chatty Airis, Lyle is the one who speaks up first, and perhaps even more surprisingly, there are words directed to Kylan out of all of us. So, Kylan is it? Airis says you're a retired vassal. Yes, shoulder injury. I can't really fight like I used to. Where do you come from? What do you mean? I know you're not from around here. Where do you live before moving to this town? Realizing Lyle's intention to interrogate Kylan, I nudged him in the side, giving a discreet shake of my head, but they just give me an innocent smile. I, came from somewhere far away. You wouldn't have heard of it. Really? You should mention it anyway. I read a lot of ancient and foreign scrolls of studying magic, so I might have heard of it. Well, it's in a different language. He mumbles a word with obscene amount of syllables, and I have to stifle a giggle at Lyle's expression. You're right. Never heard of it. Yeah, I thought that'd be the case. Silence falls over us, somewhat awkward and uncomfortable. But after a minute, Lyle speaks again, a determined glint in his a determined glint in their eyes, not his eyes. There we go. Why'd you come here then, if your hometown is so far away? Colin hesitates, and I quickly swallow the food in my mouth before returning to him in curiosity. I'd like to know too. Did you come here alone? Why would you make such an arduous journey to faraway land on your own? Colin meets my eyes for a brief moment before looking away. Well, I'm an innovator, you see. They call me a scientist. I believe in new ideas, new creations, and new theories. I wanted to explore the unknown, go further than anyone else has. I succeeded and ended up here. Fascinated, I leaned in closer, propping my chin up on my hand. I pretend to not notice the way Lyle's narrowed their eyes in suspicion, staring at Kylan as though they could read his mind through sheer willpower alone. Mother of souls, that's incredible! Must have taken a lot of faith and determination. Did you just accidentally blow up a city with your new creations and end up here while on the run from the authorities? Colin chuckles in Airis' remark, shaking his head. Nothing as exciting as that, unfortunately. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I just packed up everything and decided to leave. Surprised. I can't help but look at Colin in a new light. Huh. I didn't expect him to be the spontaneous type. I guess I still have a lot to learn about him. Really? Airis' lips curl up into a mischievous smile. and she winks at me before replying to Colin. Guess you're an impulsive idiot like Alia, and here I thought you were the only one here with a brain. Hey! I toss her back to Everea, who catches it deftly with a laugh, before turning back to Colin with a smile. It sounds like quite an adventure. Did you leave anyone behind? Colin hesitates again, but then he gives a small shake of his head. I see. But do you still miss it? Your homeland? Colin pauses, his lower lip disappearing between his teeth, a surprising uncertain gesture from the usually self-assured man. Yes, I do. I want to go home one day. I'm actually working on a way to get back. Really? Why? Don't you like it here? And you said you didn't leave anyone behind, right? I don't know. It's my home. I see. I took my head, suddenly recalling the homesickness I used to feel when I was a fresh recruit, despite knowing full well that I could never return to my village. Right. I can understand that. Sensing the change in my mood, Lyle hurriedly chimes in with a falsely positive tone, attempting to distract me from the turn my thoughts have taken. Well, I think it's a waste of time to dwell on the past. We've given ourselves to the country to serve as vassals. We all have nothing to lose, no one to lose, or else we wouldn't be accepted as a vassal in the first place. We should look ahead to the bright future we have, not our past. Everea seems oblivious to what Lyle is doing and pipes up with her own remark, causing Lyle to glare at her in exasperation for not coming to their aid. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, I guess. So, how do we think about this? Impossible to forget our past? Don't want to think about this? Or maybe Lyle's right. You know what? I'm going to go non-plot related this time because it's just a response. So, I'm kind of curious. So I did part of this broadcast with webcam and part of this broadcast without webcam. Which one do you prefer personally? I'm going to make a poll as to which one you prefer. I'm probably going to do this for every single one of my Let's Plays. So, let me sign in. So I'm going to ask, like, do you prefer this with or without the webcam? So I'm going to post it on my Twitch, I'm going to post it on my Discord server, and on YouTube, in case you're wondering. So, going to end it here. I've been on the line for over an hour. I need to get some more water. Much better. Excuse me. So, if you guys are more curious about what I do besides this walkthrough, I have another completed walkthrough of SC2VN, the visual novel. Excuse me. I also have Discord and PlayStation under this name, Tandersaya. I also have Twitter and Spotify. At DJMK for life, though for Spotify, the 4 spelled out is FOR. I have a blog, mahokunoichi.blogspot.com, and I'm currently on hiatus when it comes to the audio live streams, but I will make a video about how you can help out with that pretty soon, so that's coming up. Since I am not a Twitch partner, nor am I a YouTube partner, nor am I making any money off of either of those, so I'll put up a video as well as a link as to how you can help out with that. So, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed yourself, please don't hesitate to comment and post any recommendations. This game, Airis, is available on Steam. It is also available on an independent game site called itch.io. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I just got really interested in their game content, and that's how I've been able to get the majority of my titles lately, which more of them will be coming right up after Airis is complete, or maybe I might do it in addition to Airis. We'll see. But yeah, till then, it's DJ MK signing off with this episode of Airis, and I will see you next time right here. It's morning where you are. Have a wonderful day, even if it's afternoon. have a wonderful day. And if it's evening where you are, see you, Space Cowboys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.